So I'll let everybody see. Who all we got in here tonight? Or is everybody watching an ad?
Hey, watching what?
An ad.
Oh.
Do we have ads? I remember to monetize it.
Hold on. I'll tell you.
By halftime, I forget. Nobody's made a comment yet.
It says this event will begin at 9:30. It's 9:30.
We're not up.
Oh, there's one.
Hey, Mid and Hills.
Got 10 people. Went from 6
I
to
was
10.
getting to where we want up.
There you go.
John, Travis, Nomad Deluxe is new. You got to introduce yourself. Hey, Bill.
Brian. And my phone.
Hey, Brian.
That's the only way I can read the comments.
Well, there's a plug right there.
And that's for yours.
We got Troy Hale.
Tablet.
Well, fill me in. Tell me what all's been going on y'all's way. We're overworked. Got too much going on. Shop super busy. Farm's producing way too much, really. We do have some new baby pigs. You see them, I think, they're in the thumbnail. Travis, we got some pretty tomatoes this year. Might be some of the best ones we've ever grown. We've got some that big.
What?
The tomatoes.
Oh.
Hey, Geeky. John, we've got our share, but we got it late. And something I'll tell you how I do that I'm not sure is the smartest thing that I do. I like to be the first one to get my garden in. I cut it just as close as I can cut it. I bed on it, not frosting anymore. And I think that's a mistake. I think you plant stuff late, it does better. Well, Travis, ours took forever to start getting ripe. It had to get hot. When it finally got good and hot, is when the tomatoes started getting ripe. We've had green ones. We didn't think we're ever going to get ripe. You could pull them.
Really? Yeah.
Well, Geeky, you know, we had way too much, then none at all, and then way too much again. But the none at all helped me, considering most of my garden and most of the produce I've got planted in that bottom land. I believe that, John. We had some washouts. We had to fix the hog pen where the water was coming down the hill and washed out under the fence. Because I think we got 15 inches a couple times in a few days. Mid and Hills, I believe, I think, you know, I think you're right. Hey, Patchy Heaven, how you doing? I don't see a lot of advantage to planting anything early other than sweet corn. If you're going to try to do sweet corn organic, you kind of got to do it earlier. The bugs will take it. Geek, I don't think we got, but I don't remember. Whatever tell you, will be a lie. I think we got 3 inches in one day from Elsa, and then it rained several days, but it won't as bad as you thought it would be. You want to go outside? Y'all hang on a minute. My dog wants to go out, I think. Get the puppy.
What have you got? Come here. Come here.
You want to go out, Samson, or you want attention?
Open the door, see if he'll go.
I think he just wants attention.
Well, definitely. Hey, y'all. How you doing? Puppy drama?
I think he just wants attention. He was hitting my arm.
Well, he's got one.
There's a bit of jealousy.
He's got very aggressive about wanting to be pet now. He'll take my arm Put your arm right there. He'll take one with his nose and keep pushing
Well,
it
he's
until I
always
pet
done
him.
that for some reason. Either
mean,
to
he's
get
getting
petted or
aggressive about
something to
it.
eat. Stephanie, how you doing? Well, I hate that. Coming down 3 inches per hour. Oh, patch of heaven. What kind of engine? Like oil smoke, like rings are gone. You put synthetic oil in it and it won't smoke. It won't stop burning it, but at least everybody won't know about it. But all joking aside, I don't know nothing in a can. The synthetic oil thing does work. It won't, synthetic oil won't smoke.
Chris?
Well, there ain't no mechanic in a can I ever seen work.
What down?
White smoke. Ooh. You can try some K-Seal. I've seen K-Seal work miracles. It's in a little blue bottle. It says K-Seal. We use it in emergency situations a lot. Blowed head gaskets, cracked blocks, leaking liners, radiator leaks. It won't stop up your thermostat. And I've seen it be a permanent fix. You know how it is. You do a patch job and they won't ever do it right. I've seen it last for years. And patch of heaven, you can try running it. Just see if it clears up. But I put some K-Seal in anyway. I've got where every time we rebuild a motor or anything major, head gasket, I put a bottle in it just for cheap insurance. Bill, I run 3 or 4 and one of my sow pens is like a 20 by 50 and the other one's a 30 by 50. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, 20 by 60. Another one's a 30 by 50. It's some good stuff, Patch of Heaven. It's, we work on a lot of farm equipment that's being used.
Quit being such a whiny baby.
Bill, you give your sows as much room as you want, but to get by and not be, kind of have enough room to move around, I would say a 16 by 24 for 1 or 2 sows would be the bare minimum. Because I've done that before. But that would be kind of minimal. And it better be well drained in. If I read that right, Stephanie, a Aussie and a Blue Heeler cross makes a Texas Heeler. And they're kind of like a Labradoodle. They're pretty expensive dogs. They sell good. You can make them 2 ways. You can breed a collie to a Blue Heeler, which I think is better, or you can breed a shepherd to the Blue Heeler. Either one of them make a Texas Heeler. I like the collie mix better. Samson is half Texas Heeler. He's a little heavy on the Blue Heeler because he's got it on both sides, but he's half. His daddy was a full-blooded Texas Heeler. And a little bit here's got, he's Samson's son, so he's got bird dog and lab and hound and everything in the world in him.
Ow, 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 ow.
Oh, that's a complicated question. Me and Neil.
Multi-step.
I don't know I ain't ever broke it down like that by week. In a perfect world, for every 2.5 pounds of feed you give your pig, he'd make a pound of pork. And we want them to hit 250 pounds by 6 months of age total. Not 6 months you've had feeding them, but 6 months since the day they were born. In a perfect world.
There.
Oh yeah, Stephanie, I would. Yeah, I would. It don't hurt to ask. But I need to do some videos on that, Mitten Hills. I need to. That's the advanced pig stuff we ain't exactly got to yet. But that's something I do need to do some videos on. But there's a lot of variables there. The tighter you had the pigs pinned up. Hey Jim, how you doing? Hey Petway, I'm sorry. But the less rain you give them, the faster they grow. Here, the cooler it is, the faster they grow. They grow faster in the winter than they do the summer. Because they eat more. Um, but you got to remember, I don't know anything about cold. I can't stress that enough. The coldest we ever get is freezing. You know, it might get to 20 sometimes at night. Every once in a great while, it might get to 18 for one night. Uh, we don't know how to deal with cold, and we do not know nothing about snow. And make that perfectly clear. We don't know nothing about dealing with snow. We don't know nothing about dealing with extreme cold.
Well, Stephanie, if she's interested in helping you out, walk you through it, I mean, that would be the time to do it if you're going to do it.
Well, if anybody will help you, you got some knowledge.
Yeah.
And the optimum butcher weight Mitten Hills, that's something else we need to talk about. Uh, I like to kill them about 230 to 250 pounds. Bill, I don't like sows on a feeder. I know there's people that do it. They have a way they do it where they put the feed for the week in with a group of sows, and once they eat it, they're done. They won't feed them again until the certain day. I don't like that. Uh, hey, Simple Southern, you do run into a problem with running multiple sows in the same pen. It's hard to control who gets what feed. The only way you can do it and be reasonably sure everybody eats their own stuff is put stalls. Take hog panels and build a stall that's exactly a sow wide where the other one can't come in behind her. And sometimes they'll still try to go up under.
Mm-hmm.
We have done that before. We have stalls and you feed them individual little pans at the front of the stalls. And you can get real slick and put a gate behind it and shut the gate on them.
A spring-loaded gate probably is what.
Uh, that's just a problem we've been fighting forever. That it's hard to make sure when you got pigs in groups that everybody gets the right amount of feed. But if you overfeed those sows, you'll go broke feed. That's probably the best way to put it. And you can overfeed them, and something you run into a lot. One of them will get way too fat, and the other two will about starve to death. I mean, it's just a. Well, you got a point there, Stephanie. I don't really know what to tell you about that. Well, we're glad to help you, Matthew. AI is something we don't do much of. I haven't done it since we had commercial hogs. Used to when we raised pigs, confinement, commercial. That's how we bred everything. But that was a long time ago, and we still had to have a boar. So I figured if you still got to have a boar to walk, you might as well just let the boar do it.
Well, that's how we ended up with the puppy. Is we wanted another generation of Sampson's bloodline.
Yeah, hang on a second, y'all. I'll get caught up here in a second. Yes, I have Mitten Hills. We've tried just about everything you come up with. And yes, they can, Troy. Uh, they probably won't attack each other's piglets in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Uh, they'll probably about halfway try to raise each other's pigs. The only trouble you run into with having, especially gilts having in the same pen is sometimes when one of them's trying to have, the other one's in the way, stepping on stuff, curious, don't know what's going on. You
Matthews,
can get away with it, kinda. There's people that do it, but I don't recommend it. It's probably the best way to do it.
Matthews Pig's got a crush on him.
Huh? I'm behind. Y'all hang with me. I'm behind on the
That's one of the newer companies.
Petway. Not exactly. We don't go by. I wash condition on my pigs. I have a rule of thumb that a grown pig needs 5 pounds of feed a day. Um, Even a bred sow needs 5 pounds a day. And the boar, you got to keep him on a diet. So I wash condition, and I raise and lower the feed accordingly. So we really don't have a formula by weight. What did Petway retract?
I missed it.
Matthew
Doing
says she's
good.
angry on the bullhog. Hang on, Jim. I'll get to that one right here in a second. Hey, Swafford. Hey, Andy.
Miss Summer Daisy.
It'll be flat. You won't be able to see any testicles. They don't really have a scrotum like a goat or a cow or something. Oh, you ain't got to do that, Petway. We can't spell either. We all speak YouTube. But it'll be smooth. You won't see any signs of any testicles, Summer Daisy. And there may or may not be a scar. You probably won't be able to see a scar. If it was done right and took care of, they put something on it to help it heal, most time there's no scar. It heals clean. You can't tell it was ever done. Let's see, what did Jim ask?
Tomatoes have first fruit on, beans almost ready to pull. Should I wait until, oops, it just moved. Later to
Yeah.
start putting 10, 10, 10 on, or is now a good time?
Did you put anything there right before you planted them? Hey, preacher, Jim, I don't, how's the best way to put this? With tomatoes, I put 1 spoonful of 10, 10, 10 to them the whole time they're there. And 1 spoonful of Epsom salt is all the fertilizer we put in tomatoes. And a big double handful of lime, mixing the dirt with them, where we set them out. The peas and stuff, I don't put any fertilizer when we set them out, but we put out some chicken manure stuff before we set them out. But I side dress them with the bag fertilizer at a very low rate. Best way to put it is, I bought 2 50-pound bags of bag fertilizer this year, and I'll do a video tomorrow and show you everything we've got planted, which is pushing a little bit over an acre. And I put out a bag and a half. We got half a bag left. And I used about a 10-quart bucket of sodium nitrate. It might be enough, Jim. I mean, it wouldn't hurt nothing to put it out at a low rate. It wouldn't hurt a thing in the world if you want to do it. What I do sometimes is when stuff's tall, I'll just go beside it with the weeding hoe and kind of dig a fur and just dribble it. Just get you a handful and dribble it in there and cover it back up, kind of pull it up to the roots. But a lot of trouble people have with a garden is too much fertilizer. I can show you what too much fertilizer will do, because when we set the watermelons out, I dug a hole with a weeding hoe, put a handful of fertilizer in it, covered it up, and put seeds on top of it. And a few hills, and you could tell right where it was when we were about through, and I was tired. And I didn't dig the hole as deep. And always remember, fertilizer goes up, nitrogen goes down. And that fertilizer will rise to the top, especially in that wet land, and it's burning a little bit. You can tell it's burning. Because right at the base of the plant, the leaves are starting to turn yellow. And that can be either way. That can be the fertilizer run out or it got too much. You got to use some context to try to figure out which one it was. How's everything going with you, preacher? Geeky can't plant more tomatoes till September. He loves rubbing it in, don't he?
Mm-hmm.
Geeky, I didn't realize our growing season was so much longer than everybody else's. You make us look bad.
Mm-hmm.
you don't ever have to quit. Travis, we're getting I don't know what you call them, a produce flat. You know the black trays like you buy produce in at the wholesale place, about that tall.
I think they might have called them cucumber trays, but we got them.
Yeah, some people might call them a cucumber tray. Anyway, we're getting one of them full of cucumbers and one of them full of squash. And I showed everybody the tomatoes a while ago. We got some beautiful tomatoes this year. And they're organic too. I ain't sprayed them. I ain't done nothing to them. In fact, that one right there is completely, it's volunteer. It came upside the hog pen. Midland Hills, yes, we do have good potatoes, but not on the sand. I planted some late this year just to see what they would do. Somebody gave me a bag of seed potatoes. I had a little piece of a row left over in some onions. So I planted a few hills just to see what they do, because my whole life I've been told if you didn't get them in the ground by February, they wouldn't make.
Preacher's wide open moving, 2 loads left.
Hey, old mechanic. Well, I'm glad to hear that, preacher. I know you've been looking forward to that.
Well, don't feel bad, Geeky. I think our cucumbers,
Yeah, Jim, we don't have any luck with onion won't grow in this. But now our sand is dead sand. You hear in East North Carolina, you hear people use the word dead sand a whole lot. That means there's no organic matter in it at all. There's nothing there but what you put. It's just beach sand, and that's what we have. And it's on a hill too, so it's extremely dry. And really, it'll grow about anything you want as long as you put something there to make it grow. And Geeky, you know, we're on our second crop of cucumbers. The first set that we put up here already played out, then the second set's coming off. And I guess if I wanted to, if we needed them, I could just rerun the row and plant them again. But I like to move them every time I do that in case you got some disease or something trying to get started. I'm a firm believer in rotation. Yeah, and Geeky, I can't handle the heat either. But you'd be amazed how much better potatoes and onions are doing that black land over this sand. Watermelons usually like land. They're doing great down there too. And the pigweeds. I got some surprise with the pigweeds.
yeah, with thorns as long as your fingers. I didn't realize they were so thorny.
Why'd you grab one?
No, one brushed against my leg.
He was just here, Jim.
He comes and whines and wants to be picked up. When you don't pick him up, he takes off.
You know, Travis, I don't think we are. I think I saw him at the grocery store today.
What?
Old mechanic said the people in California really need some rain. Oh, no, he's right behind Darlene asleep. She's over here too, hiding.
Ooh.
Crab bisque. That sounds good. I ain't never had that.
Is that the cheesy? It's kind of.
I've heard people talk about
cheesy.
it. I imagine so, Mid Hills. You understand exactly what I'm talking about when I say get after it, don't you? Their last frost was June 7th, and they get another frost September 15th. Our last frost is usually at Easter, and we might not get another one till November. You usually fit, kind of start worrying about one about first couple of weeks of October. Well, thank you, Peyton. We're glad to have you. What, the heat, old mechanic, or nobody's said anything. Either I'm getting older or sorry or lazy or something. But the heat's so bad here, me and the man that works for me got physically ill yesterday. Probably the beginnings of a heat stroke. I mean, we were in a bind, suffering. We got blue crab, Stephanie. Where are you at? Are you in North Carolina with us?
I think she is. Pretty sure.
I hate to admit I can't remember stuff like that. But we got blue crabs.
Yeah, John brought us some.
We got the soft shell ones sometimes. We got spiders when you fry them up. Yeah, Swafford, that's, uh, everybody here says you plant stuff on,
Good Friday.
you just north of us then, Stephanie. We're in the middle. We're in southeastern North Carolina. Mechanic, the weather here has been funny. It never rains when it's supposed to anymore. It rains in late winter, early spring to the point you can't plant. So you're late planting. This is field crops, gardens, whatever. You're late planting unless you got really light land. And then it stays wet really early spring, about planting season. And then you have to plant late, and then it'll dry off. It's done this last 3 or 4 years. It'll dry off and won't rain a doggone drop till after July 4th. And it's a pattern. I mean, it's sticking to the pattern, but it's unusual. So you don't assume it's going to keep doing it. I think we're finally convinced it. Uh, Southernmost county in Northern Virginia.
3.5 hours from us.
Petway, hang on a second. This old thing here, you can't read a comment.
Have raised meat hogs for years, starting to breed this year. The gilts we are watching are 7 months. Already missed their first heat. Didn't see any standing heats and missed the swelling and wetness.
Petway, I wouldn't let that bother me because I wouldn't breed them till
Year.
no. 7 months is okay, but I'd probably let them. I'd get them on the next heat. And a summer daisy, it's possible. That's hit or miss. I know if you don't kill him if you kill him within about 5 months, you won't have any trouble because when I used to raise boars to sell, sometimes we get stuck with one and we would barbecue him. We killed him about 150 pounds, 5 months old, never had a problem.
Good night, Troy.
Good night, Troy. We'd have sometimes that we've had to get 225 pounds as long as they were less than 6 months old, and it never been around a gilding heat. We never had any trouble.
I don't know if Troy's gone or not, but he's going to drive 5 hours in the morning to go pick up some piglets. That sounds like
He ain't coming here, is he?
I don't know.
Jimin, is that right? Fan 100? Well, we're glad to have you. Feedback. Mechanic, they always say,
Kiki, we got a fan on. Do you think that might be it?
we try to plant ours on Valentine's Day, old mechanic. That's a fan, Swafford. I think we got a fan in here blowing
Yeah,
on.
I don't know if that's.
Oh,
I have to
mechanic,
I have to mute mine so that I can't. It
we
won't
don't,
echo.
we're not organic, so I put ambush on potatoes. I won't use Admire because it's systemic like everybody else does, but I will spray either Perma, which is labeled organic, or ambush or something. It's the fan, Swafford. Preacher said they get rain daily.
Yeah. And old mechanic says potato bugs. Chris is fanatic about potato bugs.
Well, you can't let them get started. You got to knock them in the head right off the bat. They're like rats. You can't let them get in there and get started. But I will tell you this. I planted those late potatoes this year, and I don't know if they'll make or not. Now we ain't dug them. They ain't ready. They ain't even flowered yet. But we haven't had a potato bug the first on them. So I've been kind of asking some of the old farmers in the neighborhood. I ain't had no trouble with potato bugs on these. Oh yeah, Seven Dust used to be the staple, Jim.
My daddy used to put it on dogs.
Stephanie, we used to be certified organic, and it was a lot of trouble to get certified. Uh, and it was a lot of trouble to keep it.
Hmm.
Good night, preacher. We were glad to have you. And it'll really kill you, Stephanie. If it's what you want, just try to do the best you can. But always remember, that perm up
Good
that we
night,
use,
preacher.
I think you can use it and keep your organic certification.
Good luck on your move.
I think I might be too geeky. Um, and just remember that a lot of people claim to be organic that ain't. Always remember that there's a lot of reasons why everybody has trouble being organic. Can't figure out how these people that say they're doing it's because they might really not be. You know, I have some personal information on that. There's a lot of places that say they're organic. Just make sure the headlights work on the tractor because they spray it now. Because I'm the one that fixes the headlights.
Well, you could always skip the organic certification and just label all natural.
No, you can't do it. They might can, but we can't hear. That's one of them banned words. You can't say all natural.
They're not.
You can't use that in your advertising.
Mm.
Like we say the pigs are old fashioned. When you say old fashioned,
Well, we could say ground raised.
when we say traditional,
Traditional ground raised.
we can't say all natural.
Oh, good. Minden Hill, that's a good idea. I bet they love the potato bugs. Um, I don't know. It just some places, if you don't do some kind of preventative, the bugs will eat them all.
Do what?
All of it.
What's that now?
Andy B said organic's just a fad, it's overrated. And I'm like, but in some places, if you don't do some kind of preventative, the bugs will get them all. I mean,
Yeah, you want the stink bugs now. The Asian imported stink bug is not organic farming in East North Carolina. If you don't do something for the stink bugs, you ain't gonna have nothing.
Stephanie said that they got a lot of restrictions on what they can use on labeling.
Yeah, that's right.
Minden Hills said that they let their layers go in the garden. They don't worry about what they eat, but they won't touch the tomatoes or peppers or potatoes. But they don't have any bugs whatsoever, and they have great eggs.
Well, that's probably.
I mean,
But remember, Minden Hills, we're down south. We got more bugs than you got too.
yeah, and not only that, but
We got the longer growing seasons.
we've got chickens that will peck everything. You'll go out
Yeah,
and
we
you'll
had
have
trouble with them.
They ate our whole garden one year. We had some.
Actually, there's a topic we need to talk about right quick.
We had some completely free-range chickens they would nest in the trees. They were little bantams.
My game chickens that cleaned up around the hogs and stuff. I loved them to death, but they caused too many problems.
But then they ate the garden. We had to replant the whole garden because when it started coming up about this much, they ate it all.
Travis, I tell you something I did see though I thought was the best idea in the world. I saw somebody make a chicken tractor that was the width of the middles of the rows and long, and he pulled it down the middles of his rows.
That would be an excellent idea.
And they would destroy it. But let me tell y'all something. There's something I've been needing to do a video on. I'll give y'all a little sneak peek of it. Does anybody know what a refuge is? When you hear farmers talking about they have to plant a refuge, or have you heard them talking on the radio, the chemical companies talking about planting a refuge?
Are you talking about like hay?
No, a refuge.
No.
A crop refuge. Well, then, Stephanie, you might know a little bit about what I'm talking about. But if you're in farm country, so we're in farm country, we're surrounded by commercial crops. There's commercial corn right here, the back right here, soybeans over yonder. We're surrounded by commercial crops. Yes, a refuge. What it is, that's right, old mechanic, it's non-GMO and you don't spray it. Well, honestly, most big farmers don't plant them because they cost money. It's a law they're supposed to, or they sign a contract, they will, but they don't do it. So what happens is when you plant your garden, you just planted a refuge for the big farmer next door. And the bugs are drawn to his crop because they have a way of finding the stuff, and they're drawn to, say, his cornfield. Well, it's sprayed. That's right, Stephanie. Your property is the refuge. So if you're trying to be organic, in the middle of 2,000 acres that people are spraying, every bug in that 2,000 acres is coming to you because they don't go in that field and die. They go in that field and can't reproduce because the chemical that's got the residual kind of runs them off. So they come to your stuff and just have at it. It's kind of like if all your neighbors have their chickens shut up and yours are free range. If the coyote's making their circle, your chickens are going to get gone. And that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to be
organic.
Well, they probably do, Stephanie, but I ain't never seen people always say that stuff won't eat GMO stuff. I know there's Roundup Ready corn planted behind me and the squirrels and deer tearing it up. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
We got some tough deer.
Yeah, I rode my fence today and was looking at that field corn planted across the fence. Doggone squirrels would give it hell. I was worried about them getting in my sweet corn, but I ain't found it. But they have destroyed that field corn. But that's one of the things that makes it hard to be organic. Is you're planting the bait. Well, Midden Hills, I've said it a million times. I'm gonna tell you, the biggest problem with the meat you buy at the supermarket is what they've done to it, and Alex, it was. We went from bone dry to soaking wet, and now I think we're back to bone dry.
Yeah.
Were you talking about on corn, old mechanic, cross pollination on corn? We used to raise seed corn. I'll tell you how you stop that. You cut the tassels off of it. But that's a job. But that's right, Midden Hills. That's like the people that Ken K, it's doing good. Field corn's doing good. The sweet corn's actually coming off right. My sweet corn's coming off right now. I don't want anybody. Well, Geeky, all you got to do is come up here in North Carolina. Ain't that far of a drive. Bring you some big coolers. We had to buy some 100-quart coolers to haul that around the other day.
120.
I wish I'd have saved a few years. We got some right pretty sweet corn. I feel like I missed something. But I tell you what, all this stuff has done one thing. It's increased our ability to move product. We can sell some pork now. We can sell some vegetables. And I planted this whole garden up here by the house in field peas to feed the pigs. I understand what you're saying. Oh yeah, old mechanic. That's right. Well, if you get it, I don't know exactly. So I hate to say, but if you get it, ain't got to be as far away as you think for it to not cross. It's just got to be far enough away that the wind can't. Yes, Walford, we're overloaded with. We need plenty of green beans. We're overloaded with squash and cucumbers and stuff right now, though. Can't even give them away. Mid and Hills, it ain't up $4 a bag, but it's up $2.50 if I have to buy it. And this time of the year, I have to buy some because I don't have enough corn storage. I'm out of corn. I don't have any more in September. Uh, it's enough to make a difference. And y'all are in Canada, ain't you? How's the Canadian dollar stack up to an American dollar? Ain't it worth more now? Yeah, that's right, old mechanic. It will cross pollinate. You know, that's something I haven't grown in years, Jim, was a gourd. Well, Swafford, we're on the second batch. We had a batch over in this garden we planted early, and I had some down there planted late. Okay, Midland Hills, I thought that the Canadian dollar had passed the American dollar. I may be thinking about the Australian dollar. Lord help me, Travis. I didn't sell them that high. I sold the ones I sold last week for $4 a pound. Hey, Kaleidoscope. We bought some bacon the other day.
Good.
Travis, well, it was $5 a pound, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep, $5. No, I think the bacon might have been 6. 4, 8.
Stephanie, we have a lot of that here
6.
from pump. Like this tomato came from a volunteer plant where we feed stuff to the pigs. And I don't even know, we got one tomato plant down there come upside the hog pen that's got teardrop shaped tomatoes on it. What are they? That's a Roma?
Mm-hmm, but they're, for some reason, I think it is like a hybrid of Roman and like the cherry or the, but I think it was a mix of the
what kind of tomato is teardrop shaped? It could be cross pollinated.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Or it could have been a hybrid. Could have been a hybrid to come back up and just something totally different. Because you know, a hybrid won't breed true to form.
It looks like the shape of a Roma, but they're about that big.
What? I thought a Roma was round.
Like the grape ones, the cherry ones, little bitty ones. No, Roma are shaped kind of like this.
I always grow better boys.
I like Roma. That's my favorite, I think.
Now that's what I'm thinking it could be Swafford, because I'm sure they're probably hybrids. Where they came from was a friend of mine had a wedding or something. We got all the food from a wedding. It was the salad. And I remember when they threw them over there, but it wasn't a salad. It was the tray with the small tomatoes and celery sticks and everything. Mm-hmm. And they brought a bunch into it, and they threw it in every pig pen.
Grape ones then. Grape.
Bill, I like to plant field peas instead of skinny acorn squash. I got to plant field peas, Bill.
The Romas that we grew
in the winter, I put rye.
Last year were about this wide, and they were long and thin like this. Yeah.
Steady said she planted some in 2015, being like weeds. But I think that's right, Swafford. I think they're probably a hybrid won't come back as what it was. It'll come back as something totally different.
Mm. figure it out. More.
Well, our tomatoes this year, 4 of them were on the clearance bin. 2 of
50
them were.
cent plants, and they were big. They were pretty big plants at the time.
2 of them are better boys. I think I bought on purpose. We don't have about 5 or 6, 7, 8 maybe, and 3 of them came up on their own.
Yeah. And you don't want to know where the seeds came from.
Well, they're actually outside the hog pen, or they wouldn't be alive. I mean, they me and Hill's truth is we don't. We can't keep potatoes over the winter. They'll turn green or rot or sprout, because we can't have cellars. Like here, the water table's too high to have a basement or a cellar. And what we used to do in the old days was you put them under a cedar tree and cover them with about 4 inches of pine straw, and they keep all winter. You go there and dig them up as you need them, but that don't work anymore. They're rot. That's why I say in the videos there's no point in us planting a whole bunch of potatoes, because we can't keep them. And people from other places tell me that you can can them, but nobody around here has ever canned a potato. We have no idea how to do it.
Potatoes, couldn't you? Maybe.
They'll rot mid and hills. Actually, the grubbing worms eat them, if you don't know the truth about it. Yeah, Travis, we've put them in the smokehouse. We have an air-conditioned, Swafford, we have an air-conditioned storage room, and they'll keep in it for a right good while, but they won't keep over the winter.
Several months, but not all year, no.
Bill, we get some non-GMO corn to make some non-GMO feed if we have a customer that wants us to do it, but I'm not as worried about GMO corn. Roundup Ready is not exactly the GMO that everybody's talking about, gene splice stuff. Roundup Ready was made through forced evolution, and most farmers here don't grow to what they call BT corn, which is biotech. You can't convince anybody that Roundup Ready is not a GMO, but it's technically not by the definition of USDA. So that's what they make the hog feed out of. It's not a gene splice GMO, so I don't care. But if I have a customer that's willing to pay the $3 a pound extra it costs to feed them non-GMO feed, then I will acquire some non-GMO corn at twice the going rate per bushel and make them some non-GMO feed with bone meal for the protein and all this stuff,
But it's expensive.
But it's expensive, and it's just not worth the extra money. Bill, if you're trying to feed yourself, it's just not worth it. And the truth is, even if you went out and killed deer here, they've been eating soybeans. That's where you shoot them at in the soybean field, right? So they're eating GMO soybeans, because all the soybeans are actual GMOs. Travis, I've heard about that too. The lime on them. That would probably help. I ain't heard about. I'm glad you reminded me. But I ain't heard them talking about that in years. That might be why we can't get them to keep. Kaleidoscope, yes, ours is lower in salt. There's not as much salt in the supplement as is the commercial hog feed.
Because they add extra salt in it, I think.
Oh, you read Mid Hill's comment about yeah, most of it does, Bill. Most of it does. Soybean meal is the most economical protein supplement that they put in hog feed.
Oh. And then you'd have automatic mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Mid. Did everybody else get that? Because I bet everybody know that.
They said that if you mash them and dry, no butter, no salt, you can freeze them. That's what restaurants do, just FYI, to keep it all year.
But you can make the protein up. You can make,
Message retracted.
they said bean meal. I spelled bean wrong, probably. You know, I keep telling people don't worry about spelling. We all speak YouTube. Hell, we can't spell either. But you make the protein up with bone meal. You make it up with fish meal. You make it up with something called byproduct meal. That's what's in dog food if you can get it. And it's just, the chicken feathers and all that stuff, crude protein. Uh, but bean meal is the most economical way to do it. And you can make up the protein in a lot of different ways. Dairy products make up protein. Peanuts are high in protein. Field peas are high in protein. And I wish there was somebody that made uh, field pea meal, because it would be better than soybean meal. But not enough people. Ain't nobody grows field peas commercial. That's right, Men Hills. It's great protein, but we can't even get it. We can't get a bag of field pea meal. Ain't nobody makes it. The only reason it got soybean meal, this is the truly sad part about it, y'all. Soybean meal is the byproduct. The byproduct now, I'm making soybean oil.
What, they ground it up to get the oil out of it?
Yes, it's like cottonseed meal. It's what's left over at the cotton gin. It's throwaway stuff. Soybean meal's throwaway. Until they find out you can feed it to your hogs, they can charge for it. Yeah. Well, pigs, if on pasture, eat some bugs. Hey, Steve Schrader. Yeah, we're having the same problems here. Hay's not going to be scarce this year, but the coyotes are reproducing and feeds up. And something else too, I tell y'all, if y'all ever get a chance to any milk replacer, that's something really good to feed your sows when they got baby pigs. That'll help them a whole lot. It's a calcium supplement. It's actually the cheapest way to do it. Give them half of that little scoop a day. Just put it in the feed. Jim, I found out the doggone well, if they ain't heat treated Mid Hills, that pigs can't. There's something actually toxic about them if they're not heat treated to soybeans. Well, I know here, as long as they get the field peas were first, soybeans come later. It's probably the best way to put it. There's a reason here they call field peas cow peas, is because it was animal fodder. That's what animals ate. And if I had a way, I really don't have enough land now to do it, but if I had a way to do it, a big part of my pig ration would be field peas. A big part of it. Good night, Swafford. We enjoyed having you. We ain't gonna be up too much longer, to be honest with you. Of course, we say that every week and end up going to 11 o'clock.
They don't seem to mind if we go to 11. Hi, y'all. I've been over here hiding.
I think most of them are here to see you in the puppy anyway.
No.
Oh.
No, they're all about picking your brain.
Oh.
He was asleep.
We don't want to be asleep. Hey, Warren.
I'm sitting here reading comments. There's Warren.
She's teaching summer school, Travis. You can tell he's got some lab in him, can't you?
He's got like broke ears. They can't decide if they want to flop or if they want to stand up.
I want him to
They
stand
look.
up, but I think he's gonna look like a bat. There's a lot of ear there.
And I told him that if they stood up, he'd look like an Easter bunny.
Kaleidoscope dozed off at 9:20.
It don't take much for me to doze off lately.
I wanted to take a nap this afternoon so bad I couldn't stand it, but I wanted a position I could.
I took a nap. I don't normally, but I did take a nap. About an hour. Yeah, it's you. No, don't kiss me. You. Who's that? Who's that in the picture? You see the picture? No, not the picture's not over there. The picture's over here. There's Daddy. Yeah, he's too busy looking at you. Is he? Is he? Huh?
Where's the dude at?
I don't know. Did you let him out? Didn't you let him out?
I didn't think so.
I thought he wanted to go out earlier.
No, I opened the door when he went to go out.
Oh. Don't get used to being on my table. That's a big no-no. See, he's sleepy.
Well, I don't want him to go to sleep till it's time.
I can't keep up with comments with this.
You got to touch it.
You got to touch it. And we'll break it.
Won't break it.
Because I keep touching and it does little circles.
Well, you got to hold it.
Oh. Whoops. You're going to fall. You can't do that.
He's young enough, he'll bounce.
No bounce. Okay, I got some comments I gotta read. I got to read the comments. I got to read the comments. No. 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 No kisses in the face. No kisses in the face. No. 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 And Daddy talking about was you.
Let's see what we got. Preacher will come back in.
Apparently he didn't want to move tonight.
Bro, preacher was on break. Yeah, I'm eating a peach, y'all. You had to bear with me for a minute.
That's some good peaches. There's Happy Quack.
Happy Quack made it. Hey,
Yeah.
Happy Quack.
No, you can't have the peach. He will. Anything he thinks you're eating, he thinks he can eat, and he will stick his nose to it.
Y'all tell me what you want me to make my next video on. We ain't got a lot of time to make videos now. You know, I've told you 1,000 times, there ain't nothing gets in the way of making farming videos like farming. Rats.
Rat bait?
Oh no. Y'all got dogs, don't you, preacher? Is it rats or moles? Preacher.
You a good boy? And you said that.
That might work, Steph. No, Kaleidoscope, I don't. We have given fish meal before. But I don't give fish scraps. Well, a vole ain't nothing but a rat, preacher.
With a pointed nose.
What he got like a round face? I guess they look like a hamster. I will tell you this, preacher.
See, he's all about Chris. He watches every movie made.
One thing that'll help a whole lot with rodent control is habitat control. If you'll get rid of the tall grass and all that stuff, it'll help a whole lot. Of course, I've seen videos of your place and they look pretty clean, so I ain't sure about that.
Well, they'll go where there's food.
Well, I appreciate that, Andy. We got all we got is just the old timey traditional hogs, not these new hog house stuff.
One we did, but we're not using it. It's
Yes, old mechanic tomorrow. We're putting up corn tomorrow. Yeah, have you seen those videos on YouTube? Hey, Keith Smith. We got there's 22 altogether out there right now. I think. Is that right?
what?
Yeah, 22.
22 what?
We got 20. We got 11 about 6 weeks old, 5 6 weeks old. And we got 11 that are like 3 days old. Are they 3 days old?
Yeah. Oh, talking about pigs. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, yeah. Took me a second there.
The newest ones are in the thumbnail.
They're itty bitty.
They're cute. They're off of gilt. And a lot of times the first bidder to have are tiny little pigs now. Always remember, a clean farm is a safe farm. About 50, 60 pound being healed, they'd be big enough chewed up.
Moonshine mash.
Hey, you weren't supposed to say that. You that mess is illegal to make, don't you? Hey, Gordon.
Hey, Gordon.
Keith, we got preacher. I understand exactly what you're saying. The only thing I can do, I can't even sleep like I did when I was 20.
Mm-mm.
It's so hot nowadays, and I sweat so bad all day, and I'm so burned up when I get home. I go to sleep about an hour and a half later, both my legs will cramp up, or my toes will cramp up, or something. Wake up in the middle of the night screaming, trying to walk it off. Feel like it's ripping the muscles off your bones. Or hurt yourself rolling over in bed.
Mm.
Or the puppy will bite you to get infected. You got to go to the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's a possibility.
I'll show them my new toys. I bet you two would like it.
Well, if you don't make the whole video about it,
No, they'll say something about it. I just got to give me one of them low hun holsters for it.
you'll do the shadow thing where you shine the light on it so it'll shine up against the wall so you can see.
Kaleidoscope, I take potassium. Abiquac, I take potassium. I take salt.
I keep trying to give him more potassium though because I don't think he gets enough.
27C. Does anybody know what 27C is?
Tomorrow to be 27C. I don't know.
Preacher, I think she might be on to something.
29C.
That ain't hot. We get the 39 here. It was an impulse buy, Bill.
Oh yeah, that's actually comfortable here.
I had a guy give me a whole bunch of farm stuff yesterday. Give me dog pens and barbed wire and hog panels and brand new 8-inch fence post and fish stew pots and trailer to go behind my side by side. Really nice little dump bed trailer somebody built. And I don't know what all they did get me receivers and or the inserts for research. Just a truck and a trailer load of stuff, and then he wanted to sell that. So I was like, well, crap, and plus for a very cheap price. So.
Happy Quack said 80 is midwinter there. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, kids. I couldn't do it. I could not do the weather that you do, Happy Quack. I can't see how you can do
Gordon
it.
said that's sweltering heat in Northwest Ireland. Now, Gordon ain't picking on you. I'm not picking on you because I understand. I understand. To me, 100 degrees is hot. To somebody in Australia, 110 degrees is hot. I get it. 10 degrees is a lot of difference. But I got a friend, old Luke Simons. He does, was it Back to the Basics 101?
Mm-hmm.
And he did a video. He was leaned up. They had a flat tire on the couch trailer, and he was leaned against the tire. He about to sweat to death. He said, "It's 80 degrees out here," and I got to fell off the couch. I was like, 80 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
We pray for 80 degrees. 80 degrees is midnight.
But to give him credit, Luke gets 6 foot of snow. We would die in 6 foot of snow.
I would die at 0. We would freeze to death.
They get.
I'm sure he laughed just as hard at me when I was like, "Oh Lord, I'm about to freeze to death. It's 27 degrees out here," you know.
Yeah. They get snow drifts that are so big that they can't find their house. So.
Yeah, at 0, I got on. At 20 degrees, I got on every piece of clothing I own.
I'm not going outside at 20 degrees if I can help it. No.
Yeah, I'm with you. I despise snow, and we're in North Carolina where once every 10 years we'll get 9 inches of snow, and it shut the world down.
I like snow in the yard, and I don't want nobody to walk on it. I don't want nobody to touch it. I want to look at it.
She said normally they're around 16 or 17 with the Atlantic wind. Snow is for Christmas cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of our snow around here comes out in an aerosol can and use it to decorate them with a pine cones and make Christmas trees out of it. I was up, she said, ate snow because she hates wearing clothes. Well, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I don't really dress for the southern weather. Long sleeve shirts, long pants. I have a question. Want to move back to?
I would too after.
Yeah, well, Travis, we do that. We get the snow, the ice and the snow, same as you. I mean, we're only 2 hours east of you.
Yeah, we don't get snow here. We get a little bit of snow, like just enough to say, "Oh, that's pretty," and then we get ice storms for 2 days.
Well, Travis told me where he's at.
Central North Carolina.
Yeah, I think he's a little west of. You're west of Raleigh, ain't you? But we're not far from you. 2 hours at the most, probably. Can't work outside. Gordon, do you realize it was 100 and... Well, I will tell you this. I messed up and put a thermometer in my shop. Big Tractor Supply thermometer. I don't know why I did that. Do I know?
Travis and Lexington.
Oh, you're a little further than that. But anyway, it was 110 degrees today in my shop. And the guy that works for me pointed that out, and we both instantly almost died. We both, and all of a sudden we were sick. George said at 27. What's 27? 85?
84. No, 27 is 80. Because 29 was 84.
Well, what's 110? So I tell him in metric. Somebody smarter than I am. What's 110 degrees in metric? 40? 40 something?
43.3.
It was 43 degrees in my shop today, Gordon, and yesterday, and the day before. I think the outside temperature was like 92, with the heat index was 104, because that's because we got humidity.
This is a crazy formula. Minus 32 times 5 ninths. That's how you figure out.
Well, I don't know who come up with that. I know that metric stuff's supposed to be simpler. But that's an inch. That's 4 inches. That's 6 foot.
27 is 80.6 degrees. And that would be perfect weather here. Oh my God. That would be
Well, that's
so
what
nice.
we're talking about, Midland Hills. Like you would die down here at 110. We would freeze slam to death up there at minus 40. Or minus 20 or 0 or however cold it gets. I don't know how y'all do it. And that's why I try to stress people. I don't know nothing about cold.
Don't like cold.
I don't know how to take care of your livestock in the cold. We have trouble with it here. It'll get 18 degrees, and we'll have cows lose their tails and their ears to frostbite. Nothing here knows how to deal with the cold.
Mm-mm.
Not the animals, not the.
And they still want to get wet, and they freeze.
That's how I feel about it, Jim. But I won't gonna come out and say it. Well, Kaleidoscope, I believe in protective clothing. I wear long sleeve shirts because I'll sunburn. Well, I don't really sunburn, but I'll get too hot and I'll roll my sleeves down, knock the sun off my arms. And shorts just a bad idea on the farm. See, East North Carolina has something everybody don't have. We have cat briars, fire ants. We have a lot of stuff that'll hurt you. And here you better off. I don't know how them folks do it in Australia. I see these folks in Australia with them little shorts on and the little work boots, and they're out there walking around in Southeast Hill where everything there's poisonous. I don't know how they do
Everything there
it.
to kill you.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. You better put some clothes on around here. 16 by 10, Stevie's got a kiddie pool.
Well, I want.
Our chickens have a kiddie pool.
Yeah.
It ain't 16 by 10. It's like one of them dollar store $4 ones. But to make sure they got
now, but it's plastic.
But to make sure they got enough water, they got a kiddie pool.
But I've got a blow up one that's about a 6 by 10. That's only like.
That's
high.
right, Travis.
But the dogs would tear it all to pieces. It wouldn't be up but a day. I'd get one day of enjoyment out of it. And then
Mike King said they get 155 inches a year.
Of what? Snow? No way. No.
Yeah, I couldn't do 155 inches. Does it stay there, Mike? I mean, do you get it? You got stuck with it, or does it come and melt? And
Yeah, we got the same stuff, Stephanie.
well, Stephanie, would you believe I'm not allergic to any kind of poison oak, poison ivy, or anything? So I don't even hardly know what it looks like.
Happy quiet. How many trips did it take to fill your pool up?
That's the way it is with us and being kind of cold. We have the odd day it gets cold, and we don't have to deal with cold. Whenever it does, say it gets 18 to here one night, everybody's pipes freeze. Everybody, we have more trouble with busted engine blocks and frozen pipes than y'all do, because nobody's prepared for it. Nobody bothers to. Yeah, I was about to say, Happy Quiet. Y'all got to haul the water in with a truck too,
Yeah.
don't you? Nobody's prepared for it. Nobody bothers to check the antifreeze in their tractor. Nobody. Good night, Alex.
And people don't know how to drive because we get ice. We get lots of ice.
Still, you got there. Well, I think you can. Can't you take your vacuum cleaner and
Well, we
move the
have
pipe to a different?
we have some friends that live in Colorado who had like
Here, it's houses like mine, Jim. We got
Snow
vents around our
and mud.
houses. You got open in the summer around the bottom, and they'll forget to shut them. I mean, something that simple. They'll forget to shut the vents.
met.
And those, everybody around here is going to the propane hot water heaters that sit outside your house, and they'll freeze right now. It gets cold. They got a little pilot light in them. You think they wouldn't ever freeze, but the pipe coming out of the ground was the insulation on it. The pipe coming out of the ground, from the ground to the heater will freeze every time.
Minden Hill says that it's standard for tractors to have snow pushers and blowers there.
Oh, yeah, we ain't got none of that.
Preacher said he lost 13 pounds since buying that land.
Is it worrying you that bad, preacher?
Yeah, I'd rather have snow too, but we don't get much snow. We get ice.
Whoa, Jordan, that is bad, ain't it? Yeah, I'm not a snow kid. Oh, well, work won't make me lose weight, preacher. It's got to be something worrying me. Oh, I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but they've been more holes put in my belts than last time you saw me. You talking about 16 pound preacher? I'm almost 60 pounds. Mine's stressed though.
Stephanie said that it's got the same nipple as inflatable pool toys, but don't have a nozzle that fits it. Blowing up her pool.
Stephanie, have y'all got an air compressor? Did they have?
Warner said that he's listening, but he's away from the chat.
Oh, that's all right.
Stephanie, do you have an air compressor?
I think you can get a rubber tip blowgun and blow them up. They sell them at Harbor Freight for like $2. Might be a better idea than having to sit there.
A rubber tip blowgun?
Yeah, air gun with a rubber tip on
gun.
it. You just push it in and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't got a needle thing. You don't air it up with a needle like a basketball, right?
Give me one of these, please, when you go that way. I thought you were fixing it that way. Hair dryers might work too if you can get some kind of attachment.
Well, we're not pool people, but I was just sitting there trying to think of something that might work.
They're in the very bottom in the drawer. I found me a new zero sugar that doesn't taste. Most teas that you get that are pre-sweetened, that are zero sugar or whatever, have a funky taste. This is good. Oh God, hold on. I caught it on camera. He threw it from across the room, y'all, so that's a big deal. I caught it on camera. These are pretty good. Y'all try them. I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just saying I like them. They're peach flavor.
So you don't have
Air blower.
Air compressor. I've seen people rig up something to blow them off the exhaust on their truck too, Stephanie. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Kaleidoscope. They said they're like $5 or something.
Yeah.
But you got to have an air compressor.
Yeah,
Stephanie, you need an air compressor on the farm anyway. So you might just use that as an excuse to buy one.
I gotta have zero sugar or unsweetened or
That's what I would do,
now,
Stephanie.
so.
I would use that as an excuse to buy an air compressor. We got to blow up poop. I'm not the right one to ask about air compressors because I don't want them back in the truck.
And in the shop.
And in the shop. And under the shower. And, you know, that Trevor's house.
And I bought him a little one at the yard sale too. A little bitty one.
Yeah, well, you do need one. I mean, you need an air compressor. I mean, if you're farming, you need an air compressor. That air tank stuff, it ain't got to be a great big nice one, just something that pumps air.
Airlocks and grease guns.
Mid and Hills, I explained that. I need to do a video on that. Gordon Ayers are coming up slowly.
€5 a kilo, which a kilogram is about almost 2 pounds.
That's a good price, Gordon. I wish we could say that. All right, Mid and Hills. When you say pneumatic grease gun, does you use grease cartridges or does it run off of a drum? I'm going to assume it runs off a cartridge. What you do is, you put the cartridge in it. You start it about one thread. Then you push the rod in, and you start pumping. And screw it down as you're pumping. And 9 out of 10 times, they'll bleed right out. $8.40 a kilo. Wow.
We need some sheep then, huh?
Mid and FaceTime me on Facebook or Facebook Darlene, because I don't have a. Remind y'all, this is my phone. I don't have access to the internet unless I'm in the house. But I'll show you exactly how to do it. You start it by the thread, you push it in, start pumping it and screw it down, and it'll come right out.
And why don't we do a video tomorrow and then?
Because I probably ain't got a grease gun. Needs a 2 grease in it.
Oh.
Yeah, trust me, man. At certain times in my life, it's been my job to grease backhoes. Takes 3 tubes per machine. I can show you how to change a tube of grease. It has something to do with the bricks in your shortage. But yeah, if you put that thing in there, screw it up tight, and push that thing up, you'll sit there. It won't never come out.
He keeps asking me, do I want sheep?
Travis, I have more to do than I can get done, but we're having a lot of trouble getting parts.
Good night, Jim.
Good night, Jim. Yeah, ain't nothing ever been that high either. That's probably a world record, Gordon. We're having trouble getting parts, having trouble getting help. A lot of stuff is removed and remanned. We had to send it off and get it rebuilt. You can't just buy one. And then the turnaround time on getting it rebuilt. We've got a bunch of machines down right now that are needed desperately for stupid mess like brake boosters or stuff like that. We've had to send off to Cordon to get rebuilt. They just ain't sending back. And you can't get nothing, don't seem like. Everything you need is just unavailable. Like it takes a week or 2 weeks to get a clutch that used to everybody had in stock. Just everything's still crazy. Travis, I don't know if I've ever seen it this bad. But it hit us late, right? Everybody else is having these problems a long time before it affected us. Yeah, I've heard that too, Geeky. Well, Gordon, see, here in America, they killed out all the major pork producers are bankrupt, going out of business, never to be seen or heard from again. And the packing plants may still be shut down. So there's going to be, I hope you're right, Kaleidoscope. But I'm not sure that's what's going on. I mean, I don't know. I try not to get too involved in politics and stuff because I don't know. I tell you how to raise a hog, I tell you how to grow a hill of corn, but I tell you how to fix the tractor, show you how to do a little blacksmith work, a little welding, a little fabrication. But I probably know more about napping flint. I watched 3 flint napping videos today, and I probably know more about napping flint than I do what else all's going on in the world. Good night, Petway. We were glad to have you. Yeah, Stephanie, I think that's everything's kind of in that boat. What about ammunition? Does anybody know? Can you get any ammunition now? Shoot, Geeky, I sold some for $4. I think they're higher than $2.38 a pound here.
I guess it depends on where you buy them.
We got some pretty sweet corn. I still don't know what kind it is. We found a bag of seed in the freezer that my daddy might have bought. He'd been dead 16 years. Really? Organic? Well, I don't know if I'd use a garden hose or not, Kaleidoscope. You can do that. You can run it down the throat. You run the hose down their throat and pour mineral oil down and they start belching out of that hose. Darlene's done that, ain't she? Of course, get there and help do it.
Yeah.
Run the hose down the throat. Well, good night, Midden. We're going to get off here in just about
Good
5 minutes
night.
anyway. We're trying to do 9:30 to 11. See, in the wintertime, we can go up about 5, 6, 7, whenever we want to, and stay up late on a Friday night, so it just ain't that much to do. But during the summer, when the farm's running full blast and I'm busy with the shop, everybody's trying to farm. Good night, old mechanic. It's tough to do them. We enjoy them and we enjoy having y'all, so we want to make sure we do them, but it's, well.
And when we first started, as long as somebody wanted to talk, Chris would stay up literally all night. And found out real quick that didn't work.
That don't work when you work on Saturday. That's right, Kaleidoscope. There's just too much to do. And the truth is, like the preacher, I think the preacher's probably already gone, but like I was talking about a while ago, now where the heat used to didn't bother me. I could work 16-hour days in the heat, I was fine. Now, between all this handful of medicine the doctors have got me on and the fact that I'm older than dirt, and you would have thought losing all this weight would have helped, didn't it? But some of this medicine they got me on makes the heat affect me a whole lot worse.
He's there. He's like, I'm here.
Yeah, I bet you do, Stephanie. Yeah, preacher, you know how it is. We used to listen to them old men talk and thought they were crazy. Yeah, I figured out they ain't crazy. That was a cautionary tale I wasn't listening to. But they say, yeah, you keep doing that, and he's going to tell on you. And I didn't listen. No, old man, you need to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And, yeah, they were right. Well, Kaleidoscope, it finally quit raining here every day. I think it's supposed to rain every day next week.
Mm-hmm.
They might not be, Gordon. They did the same thing here, except they slaughtered them and buried them. They gassed them and stuff. But there might be an opportunity for you there, because if you can hold on to some breeding stock, it'll go sky high when all this is over with, everybody trying to get back in. We ran into that here with cows when out west, when they had them droughts, they sold off everything because they couldn't feed it. The next year, when it started raining again, breeding stock was outrageous price. Back in about 02, 03. That's how I bought that F-350 I got, was hauling cows to the Midwest to sell brood cows. Yeah, I can't take a nap, Stephanie. I wish I could take naps, but my shop is right here at my house, and there's somebody up here constantly during this time of year. They're wanting a piece of equipment worked on, something welded, wanting to buy a pig or 2 cucumbers or something. You know.
Or just come and look at the pigs. We got people that just drop by because they want to see them.
We've got a lot of old hog farmers that come by. It's not because they just want to see the pigs. They don't have any pigs of their own anymore, and
That's what they said, just want to see the pigs.
well, what they mean is, I don't have any pigs anymore, and I really, really like pigs, so I'm going to come and get your pigs.
Yeah, I like naps too.
Well, Kaleidoscope, you can't do it, because around here, they'll try to call you. If you won't answer the phone, then they'll come up here. And if you're about gone with somebody, like the other day, I rode off with a buddy of mine to go help him load something up. And they called me, where are you at? Well, I rode off with Mike.
But your car, the truck's here.
You ain't here. No, I'm not here. Well, I've gotten to the point now, Stephanie, I got to come in the house about every 2 hours and sit down for 15 minutes to cool off a little bit. Look, my hat will be soaking wet, my clothes will be soaking wet, my boots will be soaking wet, and you can't stand it. I mean, just totally soaked like you got in the shower with your clothes on. My belt, My belt gets so wet. I'm sweating through a leather 2 inch wide leather belt, completely soaking it. And that's something to do with the blood pressure medicine or something they got me on. I've never done that before, except the last couple 3 years. Never been a problem. Never issue. And y'all ought to see this poor puppy. He stays outside about 15 minutes and he comes in here and goes to sleep on top of the air conditioning vent.
Yeah. Black dogs do not do well in hot weather. He gets.
That's exactly right, preacher. And there ain't nothing no more miserable.
Oh, and if y'all happen to be in Morehead City, do the plug.
Yeah, that's one.
Do the plug. Taps and tackle. If y'all happen to be in Morehead
If
City.
anybody's down at Morehead, y'all need to run by and check out John's new place. It's Taps and Tackle.
And apparently, it is the place to be. They have an awesome following already.
Warren had to fold some clothes. Well, we're fixing to jump off here, Warren. But look, y'all, I appreciate everybody being here. We enjoyed it immensely. We're gonna jump off here in a few minutes. I'll let everybody try to talk amongst yourselves. I despise the folks in the live stream and say, "Well, we're going back," and you can't finish what you're about to say. But we hope maybe we've helped everybody a little bit. We really do enjoy it. Well, Bill, anytime you have a question, you can ask me in the comments on the video. You can send me an email. Uh, Facebook is not the best way to get up with me. Email is better. Uh, I check emails more than I check YouTube comments, and I don't check Facebook hardly ever because of the way Facebook is. The Homestead and Hardway page and my page are linked together, but I've got to actually go to Homestead and Hardway to check it, and it won't ever notify me. That's right. Thank you, Geeky. Thank you. Yeah, that's why I wear a hat, keep sweat out of my eyes. But if anybody need uh, if anybody's got an urgent question, I try to answer. I try to do my best to answer. And I'll be honest with y'all, I don't think there's anybody in here. Since we got 17 people, I don't think there's anybody in here that doesn't need to hear this. But I talk to a lot of people on the phone. I've tried my best to help a lot of people over the phone as much as I could. I've talked them through sick livestock. I've talked them through trouble having piglets and calves and stuff. They were telling how many tractors I fixed over the phone.
Yeah.
Off YouTube.
A few trucks too.
I probably fixed 25, 30 tractors over the phone or FaceTiming somebody on Facebook, and all the way from California to Australia. But I don't know, Gee. Well, I'd do it, Gordon. If they're that high, yeah. And like I said, think about planning ahead for the shortage of breeding stock. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go find my dog, and because we're gonna go to sleep by the time we get off here. But anyway, I'm gonna let Darlene sign you out in a few minutes, and I appreciate it. We'll see you in the morning because we're gonna do a video tomorrow talking about several different things. And nobody did tell me what you wanted the next video to be about. That'd be a good way to get off her.
I thought they wanted to do the grease gun.
Well, I explained to him how to do grease gun.
Oh, yeah.
They can FaceTime me. We're friends on Facebook. He can FaceTime me. I
Okay.
think we already know. I'll show you exactly how to do it. But I ain't gonna do it till I got it. It's $4 a stick.
Sort out a stick now. Apparently when he needs to do one, we'll do one. Well, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I think our time is up. It's 4 minutes after 11. So you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Sorry about the vibration.